There is wisdom in knowing what to speak and what to keep silent. In a world where people are quick to share everything on social media and conversations and even in places of worship, there are things that must remain between you and God. Not every thought, every struggle, or every plan is meant to be shared with the world. Some things are sacred, and revealing them too soon can lead to unnecessary pain, distraction, or even failure. One of the most dangerous things to share is your deepest fears and doubts. The world is filled with both encouragers and discouragers, but often the loudest voices are those that plant more fear rather than faith. When you share your struggles with the wrong people, you invite negativity and doubt into your spirit. Instead, take your fears to God, the one who can replace them with strength and confidence. Another thing to keep private is your personal sacrifices and good deeds. There is no need to boast about the kindness you've shown or the sacrifices you've made. True acts of love and faithfulness do not need to be announced. The moment we seek approval from others for our good works, we lose sight of the greater reward that comes from God alone. Your future plans and dreams should also be guarded. Many have lost their direction because they shared their vision with people who did not understand, who doubted them, or who tried to lead them astray. Sometimes dreams are meant to be nurtured in prayer before they are shared with the world. The right time will come when God will reveal what He has placed in your heart. Until then, move in silence and trust in His timing. There is also wisdom in keeping your private struggles and weaknesses to yourself. The enemy loves to take what we reveal and use it against us. Not everyone around you is truly for you. Some may take advantage of your vulnerability, while others may spread gossip rather than offering help. Instead of seeking validation from people, seek strength from God. He is the one who heals, restores, and gives the grace to overcome every struggle. Family matters should also be handled with care. Your family's struggles and challenges are not for public discussion. There are moments when seeking wise counsel is necessary, but sharing personal family issues with the wrong people can lead to gossip, broken relationships, and unnecessary conflict. Protect those you love by keeping certain matters private. Lastly, your spiritual growth and battle should be handled with discernment. While testimonies are powerful, some victories are meant to be fought in the quiet place of prayer. Not every struggle needs to be shared, and not every season of growth should be put on display. There are moments when God works in silence, refining and strengthening His people behind closed doors before revealing them to the world. Wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. In a world that constantly encourages oversharing, be intentional about guarding what is sacred. Some things are meant to be between you and God alone. If you trust Him, He will guide you, protect you, and bless you in ways that no human approval ever could. Choose wisely what you share and trust that God sees everything, your struggles, your sacrifices, and your faithfulness. In His time, He will honor those who honor Him. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can grip the human heart. It has the ability to paralyze, to steal joy, and to keep a person from stepping into the fullness of what God has for them. Doubt follows closely behind, whispering lies that make people question their worth, their purpose, and even their faith. When fear and doubt are shared carelessly, they can grow even stronger, spreading like wildfire in the mind and in the hearts of those who hear them. Not everyone who listens has the wisdom to offer encouragement. Some will speak words that deepen the fear, while others will dismiss it altogether, making a person feel weak or foolish for struggling. This is why our deepest fears and doubts should not be placed in just anyone's hands. They should be surrendered to God. Throughout history, fear has been a tool that the enemy uses to hold people back. He knows that when fear takes root, it can stop a person from moving forward in faith. Many have missed opportunities, delayed obedience, or turned away from their calling because they allowed fear to rule over them. But fear was never meant to have that power. God has not given a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. When fear is placed in God's hands, it loses its ability to control. He replaces it with courage, with wisdom, and with peace that surpasses understanding. Doubt is equally dangerous. When a person begins to question the promises of God, they open the door for confusion and instability. Doubt makes a person waver between two opinions, trusting God one moment and hesitating the next. It weakens faith, making it difficult to stand firm in the truth. But doubt, like fear, is a lie. It tells people they are not strong enough, not worthy enough, not capable enough. It makes them believe that God is distant, that His promises are uncertain, that His plans are out of reach. Yet time and time again, the Bible reminds us that God is faithful, that He never changes, that His word is true. The danger in sharing fears and doubts with the wrong people is that they may reinforce those lies. Instead of offering encouragement, they may plant even more uncertainty. Some may use those fears against you, while others may simply lack the wisdom to guide you in truth. But when fear and doubt are taken to God, He speaks a different message. He says, "Do not be afraid, for I am with you." He says, "Trust in me, and I will direct your path." He says, "Be strong and courageous." Fear and doubt are not meant to be shared with just anyone. They are meant to be surrendered to the one who can replace them with faith, with strength, and with the confidence to walk in His promises. True sacrifice and goodness are not measured by how many people recognize them, but by the sincerity of the heart behind them. In a world where many seek validation for their actions, it is tempting to share personal sacrifices and good deeds with others, hoping for acknowledgement or praise. But the greatest acts of kindness and selflessness are often those that go unnoticed by men but are fully seen by God. When a person gives, serves, or sacrifices for the sake of others, the reward should not come from human recognition, but from the one who sees all things in secret and blesses accordingly. There is a danger in sharing too much about personal sacrifices. The moment a good deed is spoken of for the sake of acknowledgement, it loses some of its purity. If someone sacrifices for their family, their community, or even for strangers, and then announces it to the world, it can shift the focus away from genuine love and toward personal credit. True sacrifice is not about what others think, but about obedience to God's calling. The greatest examples of sacrifice throughout history were not done for applause, but out of deep love and devotion. There is also wisdom in keeping personal sacrifices and good deeds private, because not everyone will understand them. Some may question the intentions behind the action, while others may criticize or even belittle it. When someone gives up their time, their comfort, or their resources to help another, there will always be voices that misunderstand, that judge, or that take advantage. But when done in secret, the heart remains focused on the true purpose, serving others as an act of love rather than as a means of gaining approval. The world encourages recognition, but God calls for humility. A sacrifice done in silence carries more spiritual weight than one done for the sake of being seen. The Bible speaks of those who announce their good deeds for attention, saying that they have already received their reward in full. But those who serve quietly, without seeking praise, will be honored by God in ways far greater than human applause. It is not about being noticed, it is about being faithful. There is peace in knowing that nothing done in love is ever wasted, even if no one acknowledges it. God sees every act of kindness, every sacrifice, every moment of selfless giving. And in His perfect timing, He blesses those who choose to do good without seeking anything in return. A life lived in quiet obedience is far more powerful than one lived for the recognition of others. The true reward does not come from people, it comes from God, who honors those who give without expecting anything back. Dreams and future plans are among the most precious gifts placed in a person's heart. They represent vision, purpose, and the hope of something greater. But not every dream is meant to be shared openly, and not every plan should be spoken of too soon. There is wisdom in keeping certain things between oneself and God until the right time. The moment a dream is exposed to the wrong people, it can be met with doubt, criticism, or even opposition. Some will not understand it. Others may try to discourage it, and a few may even attempt to hinder it. But when a vision is nurtured in quiet faith, it has the opportunity to grow strong and protected from the voices that might seek to weaken it. One of the greatest dangers of sharing future plans too soon is that it invites unnecessary battles. The dreams placed in a person's heart often come with challenges. And when they are spoken of prematurely, they can be met with resistance. Some may respond with negativity, saying it is impossible or foolish. Others may speak words of doubt, planting seeds of hesitation that were never meant to be there. Even well-meaning people can unintentionally discourage a dream simply because they cannot see what God has placed in another's heart. This is why patience is necessary. Some things must be allowed to take root before they are revealed. Silence does not mean fear or lack of faith. It means wisdom. Many of the greatest plans unfold quietly, step by step, without public announcement. There is a time for everything, and just as a seed is planted in the darkness of the soil before it emerges into the light, so too must dreams be protected before they are shared. Speaking too soon can expose them to harsh conditions before they are ready to stand strong. God often works in hidden places, refining, preparing, and strengthening before revealing his plans. Some of the most powerful testimonies are not announced in advance, but unfold when the time is right. Trusting in his timing means holding on to the vision without rushing to make it known. When the right moment comes, no amount of opposition can stop what God has ordained. A dream protected is a dream that has the opportunity to flourish. The voices of others should never hold more weight than the voice of God. What he has spoken will come to pass, but it must be guarded with wisdom and patience. The world does not need to know every step before it is taken. Walk in faith, trust in the process, and allow God to bring his plans to completion in his perfect time. What is meant to be revealed will be. And when it is, it will be undeniable that it was his hand at work all along. Everyone faces struggles, weaknesses, and personal battles. It is part of the human experience. But not every struggle should be shared with others. There is wisdom in knowing what to speak about and what to take directly to God. In a world where people are quick to expose their hardships to anyone who will listen, many fail to realize that not everyone is meant to hear their struggles. Some will misunderstand, some will judge, and others may use that information against them. When weaknesses are placed in the wrong hands, they can become weapons rather than opportunities for healing. The danger of sharing private struggles is that not everyone has pure intentions. While some people may genuinely care, others may only be curious. They may offer sympathy, but they may also spread what they hear, turning personal battles into gossip. Struggles that are meant to be handled with grace and wisdom can quickly become a source of embarrassment or pain when shared with the wrong audience. What was meant to bring comfort can instead bring more hurt. Another risk is that when weaknesses are exposed, they can be exploited. The world is not always kind, and there are those who take advantage of vulnerability. A person who openly shares their weaknesses may find themselves being manipulated or discouraged rather than uplifted. Even well-meaning people can sometimes offer advice that is not rooted in truth, leading a person further into confusion rather than helping them overcome their struggle. Some battles are meant to be fought in the quiet place of prayer. God is the one who strengthens, who heals, and who provides wisdom in difficult times. While it is important to seek guidance when necessary, there is a difference between seeking wise counsel and simply exposing private struggles to anyone willing to listen. True strength is not found in announcing every hardship, but in standing firm in faith, trusting that God is at work even in the unseen. The greatest victories often happen in silence. The struggles that are surrendered to God rather than to the opinions of others become testimonies of his power. There is a time for sharing, but it must be done with wisdom, knowing who can truly help and who cannot. Some matters are meant to be kept between a person and their Creator because he alone knows the depth of the struggle and the perfect way to bring deliverance. Wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Private struggles do not need public validation, they need divine intervention. The world may offer temporary comfort, but only God offers true healing. Those who trust him with their weaknesses will find that he turns them into strengths, not through the approval of others, but through his unfailing grace and power. Family is one of the greatest gifts in life, but it is also where some of the deepest struggles take place. Every family faces challenges, conflicts, and moments of hardship. Yet not every issue should be shared with others. In a time when people are quick to speak about their problems, whether in conversations or on social media, there is wisdom in keeping certain matters private. Family struggles are deeply personal, and when they are exposed carelessly, they can lead to misunderstandings, division, and unnecessary pain. Protecting the dignity of loved ones means handling family matters with discretion, wisdom, and prayer. One of the greatest dangers of sharing family issues with the wrong people is that not everyone will respond with understanding or compassion. Some may listen only to spread gossip. Others may take sides, creating division rather than offering support. A moment of frustration or disappointment shared too freely can lead to a reputation being damaged, relationships being strained, or personal struggles being used as entertainment for others. Words spoken in the heat of emotion may pass, but their impact can last far longer than intended. Once something is shared, it cannot be taken back, and what was meant as a cry for help can quickly turn into a source of shame. Another reason to keep family matters private is that struggles within a family are meant to be handled with love, patience, and unity. When conflicts arise, they should be addressed within the home, not taken to outsiders who may not have the full picture. Every family has its challenges, but bringing outsiders into those struggles can complicate matters rather than resolve them. Some problems require forgiveness, growth, and understanding, which are best cultivated in an environment of trust rather than public scrutiny. Seeking guidance is different from exposing personal matters. There is a time when wise counsel is needed, and turning to a trusted mentor, pastor, or counselor can bring healing and clarity. However, this is far different from casually discussing private struggles with those who have no role in bringing resolution. Speaking to the wrong people can lead to resentment, further conflict, and even broken relationships that may have been healed if handled differently. God calls people to be peacemakers, to build up rather than tear down. Family struggles are not meant to be entertainment or conversation topics. They are opportunities for growth, patience, and deeper love. Those who honor their family's privacy also honor the trust that holds relationships together. Choosing silence when necessary is not about hiding the truth. It is about protecting what is sacred. True healing comes not through exposing problems, but through seeking wisdom, praying for guidance, and allowing love to cover faults. In the end, strong families are not those without struggles, but those who choose to face them with unity, grace, and the understanding that some things are best kept within the walls of the home. Spiritual growth is a deeply personal journey, shaped by faith, challenges, and moments of divine revelation. It is a process of becoming stronger in belief, resisting temptation, and walking more closely with God. Yet not every step of this journey is meant to be shared openly. There is wisdom in keeping certain aspects of spiritual growth and battles between oneself and God. While testimony has great power, premature sharing can invite unnecessary criticism, doubt, or even opposition that weakens rather than strengthens faith. Some struggles are meant to be fought in silence, allowing God to refine and strengthen before revealing the victory. One of the dangers of openly sharing spiritual battles is that not everyone will understand them. Some people, even those with good intentions, may question the depth of the struggle, offer misguided advice, or fail to provide real support. Others may even mock, doubt, or discourage, unintentionally weakening faith instead of strengthening it. The enemy uses discouragement to shake believers, often working through the words and doubts of others. When spiritual battles are shared with the wrong people, it can introduce confusion and unnecessary burdens rather than encouragement and breakthrough. Another reason to guard personal spiritual growth is that faith is built in private moments with God. The greatest transformations happen in the secret place, in quiet prayers, in deep reflections, and in unseen struggles where faith is tested. Jesus often withdrew to pray alone, seeking strength and guidance from the Father. Many of the most profound lessons in faith are learned in solitude, not in public discussions. Speaking too soon about spiritual progress can sometimes shift the focus away from God's work and toward human validation. But true growth does not need applause. It needs obedience and faithfulness. Spiritual battles are also intensely personal. Temptations, doubts, and struggles against sin are challenges that every believer faces. But they are not always meant for public discussion. Some things should be confessed to God alone, while others may require wise counsel from a trusted mentor or spiritual leader. However, openly discussing every battle can sometimes lead to unnecessary shame or judgment, making the struggle even harder to overcome. The Bible teaches that God rewards what is done in secret. Spiritual growth is not measured by how much is shared, but by how much is surrendered to Him. The strongest faith is not always the loudest. It is the one deeply rooted in quiet trust and unwavering commitment. There is a time to share testimonies, but there is also a time to keep silent and allow God to continue His work. Those who guard their spiritual journey with wisdom will find that in due time their faith will shine through their actions, their strength, and their unwavering trust in God. Every journey of faith is unique, shaped by trials, victories, and moments of divine transformation. Spiritual growth is not about how much we show others, but about how deeply we surrender to God. The battles we fight in secret, the prayers we whisper in the dark, and the struggles we endure with faith are all seen by Him. And in His perfect time, He strengthens, refines, and lifts us up. Too often people seek validation from the world, sharing their struggles in hopes of finding understanding. But not everyone will understand. Not everyone will encourage. Some will doubt, some will judge, and some will discourage. Judge not first for my sight, from the hidden and sufferings of mine. But God calls us to walk in wisdom, to guard the sacred work He is doing within us. He does not need our faith to be displayed for human approval. He needs our hearts to be fully surrendered to Him. The greatest strength is often built in silence. The most powerful testimonies are shaped in the secret place, where no one sees but God. True faith is not about being seen. It is about being faithful. And when we remain steadfast, trusting Him even in our unseen battles, He rewards us openly. So as you continue on this journey, remember this. Not every battle needs to be shared, and not every struggle needs to be spoken. But every moment of faith, every step of growth, and every victory belongs to God. Trust in Him, walk with wisdom, and let your life be a testimony not through words alone, but through the undeniable presence of His power at work within you.